So I think we're just going to give our observations in 15 minutes or less.
Hopefully we can ask questions too.
Very good, but definitely be less. All right, so I have a bunch of notes that I can no longer read, which is really, yeah, I'm not going to summarize the session I was in unless I get a question about it. Is that all right? Is that fair? I'm going to jump to the sessions that I don't know anything about. You know, so my summary of the 11 o'clock session is finance is too hard to automate. I think that's hogwash. To be fair, Ron didn't say that. He was kind of the wake-up call is, look, you may not have that many observations on prices, but you got a whole lot of data that can be used, that can be brought to bear. And I know even 15 years ago, there were people putting video cameras outside factories and counting the trucks that came out of them, so they could get a jump start on what the likely reported production levels were, and trade that is in advance. And as you start generating data about the whole world, there's a lot that can happen just kind of on the right-hand side variable set, where you use maybe some human ingenuity, but you also bring to bear a whole lot of data that wasn't otherwise available. And I know one of the things that we looked at is could you do GDP measurements? You can actually get pretty far on GDP measurements just based on traffic data. So that is, but it's nuanced traffic data. It's not just like how many vehicles went by, but of what kinds of vehicles are transported. Because pretty much anything that you're consuming is being transported, not necessarily by road. You may also need internet transport if you want to get movies and such.
So jump in on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's how I use up my 15 minutes.
So depending on what's possible and not, I thought sort of the clear tone was that machine learning and artificial intelligence as a practical matter are not really revolutionizing finance. It came up in a different couple ways. I mean, I know that Ron said that he thought it was revolution versus evolution, but the distance between him and the other two sets of comments was virtually non-existent in many ways. In fact, I kind of wrote down a couple of his quotes. We're still doing mean variance analysis. The business model is the same model, we're just doing it with fancier econometrics. Maybe enough data to do really fancy econometrics, not, but it did not, that panel did not come across to me as if they were arguing this is a game changer in the way your panel clearly did.
So all right, so let me say that's fair enough. That seems accurate. I spent a year at the University of Chicago, and I used that as an opportunity to learn about like academic finance. And one of the things I found kind of appalling is the disconnect between what finance practitioners do and what they teach in the university. That gulf is almost infinitely wide. University of Chicago, pretty serious school. This is year 2000. They're still teaching CAPM as being the actual truth of the matter. Consumption. Yeah. And what's really kind of bad, actually, is that if you look at finance professors who become full professors, they publish almost nothing after they become full professors.
Our finance professors.
As a group, it's like 1.5 papers for the rest of their career on average. Now, I believe they actually continue to develop things and learn and so on. It's just that it doesn't go into the public domain. There are a few areas, I think, where practice is further away from the theory than academic finance. Now these guys actually kind of know, a lot. People that all three of the speakers. BlackRock is right there at the state of the art, but I'm wondering how much unless that's like for public consumption, yeah, we're going to talk about, you know, stuff that was done 100 years ago. All right, just so, let me move on a little bit. I am kind of appalled that Libra is taken seriously. When Facebook first announced that, I laughed out loud. Now, I don't know much about finance, as is becoming, you know, painfully clear. But I hung around with Randy Wright a lot. And the thing that you learn is that money is based on trust, right? At least fiat money doesn't work without trust. So the only way I can see a currency working worse than Libra is like a Comcast issued currency. This is one of the least trusted organizations on the planet, and they're going to issue fiat money and people are going to take it seriously, only in Washington. I just thought that part was insane. You know, the CBDC, I think the thing that's missing here, really, the thing that would be really nice, and by the way, chime in, please. I didn't realize I was going to be out here alone. The thing that at first, for that matter, right? The thing that would be interesting to connect with a digital currency is, like, if Andrew Yang gets elected president, okay, coin has to land on its edge, but the digital coin. You know, if we're really actually going to take seriously something like a negative income tax, all of a sudden now, having a digital currency that's kind of federally backed and operated, those guys might go together, right? We still pay our taxes as if we were doing it on paper. We still really account as if we were doing it on paper. We do accounting as if it were on paper. And maybe that's a connection to that might make a more sense. And
can I clarify? So, are you advocating now for a scenario like if through some set of rules we're transferring money to people through the usual fiscal process, we have a way to do that in kind of a seamless payments system way through accounts with the central bank? Or are you actually talking about the central bank doing fiscal policy and implementing?
Definitely the former. I'm just saying that there's a welfare gain of. So most of you probably know the story of the semi-trailer. All right, the U.S. Army said, we ship stuff all over the world all the time. It would be a lot better for us, the U.S. Army, if there was kind of standardization. And that changed the world, right? The 40-foot U.S. Army trailer now is, you know, you see piles of them like 40 high in Singapore because they standardized on that. You see them going through the Panama Canal through a different standardization, which is the Panamax, the biggest boat that will fit in the Panama Canal. But it's all tailored to this 40-foot trailer. So it does what the AA battery does for electronics, it does for shipping. And I'm saying you ought to be thinking not about should we have a digital currency because there exists something called Bitcoin and we don't really understand what the value of it is, but instead saying can we actually expedite other operations and hence make those more efficient. That's where the gain would be, and that's why I was suggesting if you have an Andrew Yang, that's an opportunity to do for money what the 40-foot trailer did for trucking and shipping and you know, making world trade way more efficient than it would have otherwise been. And I actually kind of had this reaction throughout the discussion of coins is that so in 2011 I was asked by Yahoo to look into digital currency and Bitcoin in particular, and I thought on a lark, I'll buy a dozen of these. Okay, so nothing in my portfolio has ever done nearly as well because I bought them for $12 a piece. I sold one for $17,500. I still have 11 of them. And even then I turned around and said, you know, the fatal flaw of these things is that the raise seniorage. And so they're just giving the seniorage away. Right? And as a consequence, by tying the mining, which there's a question about this, but by tying the mining to the value of the currency and giving all of that value to the miners, what you did was set that level through the roof. So at that time, in 2011, it was roughly 25 bucks to do a transaction. That was the mining cost of a transaction, was $25. That number has gone over 100 on occasion, where per transaction it's costing us $100. It's the only thing in the world that makes credit cards look cheap. And by the way, that's the other thing that we didn't talk about in this session that seems really important for us is that now the United States is the last country on earth that uses checks.
Yeah,
Well, we have a sea of checks. Probably relative to the rest of the world that pretty much abandoned them. But meanwhile, we've gotten in this awful position that our credit cards, so the transaction, I'm blanking on what the word is, but well, what they charge the retailer for credit cards, the processing charge, that's getting on to be over 2%, sometimes as much as 3%. I had this driven home to me because I give money, and 1 year I gave it on credit cards, and everybody got 3% less than I donated because the credit card processor took 3%. Meanwhile, WeChat Pay and Alipay are effectively not charging anyone, but at least Alipay reports that its transactions costs are less than 1/100th of 1%. Now that's what they wind up figuring that it's a loss leader, that they can afford to lose that 1/100th of 1%. But that's how much it costs them. They basically are fraud-free because they see the whole pattern of transactions. They're generating tons of useful data for themselves and probably for their government. But we're sitting here with a 2% transaction fee. And people talk about micropayments, but that minimum on the credit cards, I think, is 75 cents. And so that kills the whole micropayment market with credit cards. So one of the things, another problem, that it seems like a serious social problem for us, is that our transaction charges have gotten to be quite large. And this, I believe, is why checks still exist. Right? People will take a check because the processing fees are so much lower on a check.
So we are working on it. There's a real-time gross settlement system that is under development now, which will allow for much more seamless payment and cheaper transactions on separate rails from Visa and MasterCard.
So I saw not that long ago a chart of what credit card processing fees look like over time. They've doubled in like 10 or 12 years. Now part of that is we're also getting rewards on those cards, right? In other words, so there's a restaurant in Austin, Texas, where the waiters and waitresses wear T-shirts that say, "We jipped the other guy and passed the savings on to you." And that seems like our credit card model to me. It is, yes, they're giving me rewards, but meanwhile they're then charging the merchants, and this is, so they put money in my pocket and take it out of the other pocket because it shows up in the prices. And this is not a good way to run the railroad, right? So that's another thing I'd be looking at is, can you use these digital payment systems? So again, Bitcoin here is the opposite. Actually, I had dinner with a senior vice president from Citibank, and after discussing the charge, what it costs to actually process a Bitcoin transaction, he said, "I'm really going to sleep better tonight." It's outrageous how much those transactions cost. So it's not just that we're all, polluting the planet in the process. We're also spending all these resources for nothing. For no accomplishment.
Can I turn the conversation back to your session?
Absolutely, yeah. That's the session actually knows something about.
So, and this follows up a little bit on what Raphael and Steve were talking about. So that was both an awe-inspiring session and a horribly frightening session at the same time. So Leland talked quite a bit about virtue of not being constrained by concerns about privacy, about various sorts of protections to the citizenry that would be very much a concern to us. And you sort of alluded to that too. So where the sort of sense of that session was, we're hurtling to this new world rapidly. I mean, it came up a little bit in the last one too, that, you know, the kind of digitization of everything simply changes our relationship with whoever is in charge. So given the advantages that were described sort of in that conversation with China, can liberal democracies win that one?
Well, it's a big question. Let me say, I really hope so. I have a bunch of things to say about that. Actually, Leland and I got together and discussed this, so I'm going to put words in his mouth too. And he can.
Where is Leland?
Is Leland here?
He can scream if I'm really inaccurate. So first, just to identify the problem, starting about 2012, the Chinese started out publishing the United States in AI papers. They're now well more than 50% per year more than we publish. Even if you go and condition on were these papers cited by other papers, they actually are of equal quality by that measure. This is a sort of normal check, right? Is that a paper that's not cited usually isn't that much of an advance. Papers that are cited are pretty distinctive, but they are not, this isn't vanity press that's going on here. This is actually serious contributions. They're planning attacks on the 5 industries that Leland mentioned. They're seriously advanced. And if you've ever ridden like their bullet trains, it's astounding, right? That they've connected an area equal to the continental United States. As if you look at what's been connected by bullet trains, they run at 300 kilometers an hour. They are essentially motionless. I mean, your coffee cup doesn't shake. And they work great. The metro in Beijing, I mean, you think about doing this in Los Angeles or San Diego, the metro in Beijing connects everything. It is very crowded at rush hours, a very crowded city. Meanwhile, they're planning on what are we going to do with 100 million people in Beijing, because that's where they think they'll be in 2035. They have a plan for how they're going to deal with 100 million people and how they're going to connect them and have transportation and so on. I also think that this idea that and this is what Leland and I talked about, that somehow, you know, that 19 times out of 20, the U.S. approach of not being centrally planned will beat the centrally planned Chinese approach. Well, but maybe not in this particular instance, is not really very accurate. We used to invest extraordinarily heavily in federal R&D. There's this quip, right, that there are state universities and then there are federal universities, because there are no actual private universities. The private universities are heavily federally supported, or at least they used to be. That was, so there were 2 things that really made the United States stand out after World War II in terms of technology. One of them was its university system, which had tons of federal money, and intentionally federal money. And then the other was federal support, direct federal, and the brain drains. So it's not just federal money from the universities, it's also the JPL and Lawrence Livermore and so on, that are also employing federal scientists and promoting them. And then the other was the brain drain. And we kept the best and the brightest. And we've turned our back, or at least let me say, a good chunk of our politicians have turned their back on both of those. I do think one thing that was really advantageous about the U.S. system relative to the Chinese is rather than have the federal government pick which technologies we're going to invest in, we decentralized that a fair bit. We did still have, you know, the Defense Department cared a lot more about defense-related technologies than they did about health-related technologies. But nonetheless, how those defense technologies were developed had some decentralization. So that's it is is a misreading of history to view that the United States somehow did this with the private sector where the rest of the world did it with the public sector. That just isn't right. We invested, during the space race, the NASA budget was 5% of the federal budget. That's huge. So, I think it's a real competition, but I think we're shooting ourselves in the foot as much as anything, is that we've kind of turned our back on and just be irritated. You know, there are a bunch of Republicans who think that higher education prevents Republicans from being elected. Doesn't get them elected. And let me say, having been at the University of Texas, I lived through that. All right, so I should shut up.
Well, so I mean, okay, so
I guess.
I mean,
People start throwing tomatoes.
so I didn't gather from your response there that you think that there's something sort of fundamentally about kind of liberal traditions of privacy and freedom and things like that, which are the problem. The problem is just one of political will.
You know, so there's two things happen kind of simultaneously. There's the political will issue, yes, and I agree that was definitely what I was saying, is that we have a problem with political will. We don't have that 1965 perception that we can solve our problems with technology if we just empower it. And actually, in the health area, we still often, maybe foolishly, have that perception. Yeah, there is a political will. But let me say, we're running what I expect to be a short-term problem. This is not the first time that it's happened, this disinformation problem. Right? That's happened periodically in world history, where you get, the printing gets easier and people print up a bunch of false stuff. The founding fathers were familiar with this because it circulated, there were tons of things that, let me say, false information that circulated back then. We had kind of a long run where we didn't seem to have very much of it, but this is a problem that's come and gone. It's going to come. I don't think we've actually gotten to the worst of it. We're going to have worse problems before we resolve them. But do you know who retweets false information? Okay, boomer. Us. It's us. So the average millennial has retweeted one false story in their life, whereas the average boomer does it, the average Twitter boomer user does it it's like 8 times. The problem is old folks who, they're used to, I read it, it's true, and so they pass it on, whereas the millennials and younger, by and large, are much more immune to it. And so I think this is a problem.
So we can conclude on this.
I'm going to conclude on a quote. So Maxwell said there are 2 theories of light, the wave theory and the corpuscle theory. We believe the wave theory because all those who believe the corpuscle theory have died.
So on that note.
So any final questions from the audience? Bill's going no. But Carlos has one now.
Preston, I got a quick one. You were talking about the data and how easy it is to monitor it. How come we cannot measure China?
We can't measure, you mean China GDP?
Anything.
So I do think we actually have some measurements of China. Leland would know a lot more about how you read the tea leaves in China, and I understand that they have changed. Like, if we start looking at things like electricity production, they start gaming the electricity production numbers. And so it's a moving target. But at best we can do satellite stuff, and let me say, there are people doing that with satellite stuff. The problem is they aren't universities. They're in private companies, and they know it. And they probably all, if we could just pool it, it was too valuable, finance data was too valuable to be used for the public good. And that's a problem, that whole area. Like, if you're a full professor of finance still publishing papers, you're probably not very wealthy. And it's unfortunate that there was better opportunities, or more lucrative opportunities.
So I'm going to close this down here with what I said at the beginning. One is an extraordinary set of speakers, and I just want to thank them again. Secondly, anybody interested in continuing the conversation, but with a beer in your hand,
You heard that? Oh, you did? Did I say that out loud?
just to repeat what I said earlier, if you leave the Conrad Party Center and turn left, first block, at the end of that block, you turn right, go 2 blocks. Turn left, you go 2 blocks. They're very long New York blocks. There's a brewery on the corner called Carl Strauss, and the NBIC group is going to go there, and anybody who has come to the meeting, we encourage you to come and join us. And it'll just say NBIC GIC, you sit down, they know we're coming, and it's a Dutch treat, so just grab a table, sit down, and order right off the menu. So thanks again, we'll see you later.